When I lost my hair, I went to Officeworks and had a big pack of permanent textures in different colours, or the rainbow of colours, and invited all the family over for afternoon tea on the Sunday, and all the kids drew pictures on my head. So I went to chemo on the Monday, and I'm like, took my hat off and I'm like, look at my head today. And they went, oh my God, we love it. And so I had my grandkids' decorations on my head for over a week. I had, it was, I was supported 100% by so many people. We had lots of food delivered to us. Krista came and made us dinner, a fair few times. People would just randomly send me a text message and say, do you have any cravings for anything? And I'm like, oh, I actually feel like Frosty Fruits. I haven't eaten them since I was about 10. And bang, half an hour, there was a packet of Frosty Fruits on our front door. And it was just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Welcome to the Property Management Podcast. I'm Kylie Walker. Thank you so much for being here and having me in your ears. Now, this is a little bit of a different episode for you today. I am chatting with the amazing Kerol Dunne, who is a 58-year-old who has just, in the last 12 months, come into the property management industry. She has joined her daughter in I'd say a large country town in Queensland called Warwick, and she's working in the business Star Realty. Now, Krista, her daughter, has been on the podcast before, and she is an amazing business owner and property manager and has grown a really successful business from scratch, using really unique strategies to lease properties without spending a lot of money on marketing and advertising. But my chat with Kerol today, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. I kind of wanted to talk to her about, coming into the industry at her age, because we've got such a mass exodus of people going out of the industry. It was really interesting to hear her perspective on why she came into the industry. But we also dive into her cancer journey. In 2020, Kerol was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and has been on quite the journey since then to recovery. She's not fully clear yet, but she is almost there. And I just found chatting with her so inspiring. She's such a ray of light, of positivity, and it has such enthusiasm for property management and for life. And I really think she does life right. And I really can't wait for you to hear her journey. We sort of go all over the place and lots of different topics and lots of different areas, but I think you will find my conversation with Kerol really enlightening and inspiring. So grab yourself a cuppa and sit down and have a listen. Kerol, thank you so much for joining me on the Property Management Podcast. Before we dive in, can you share with our audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started in property management? Because you've got a bit of a different story for us.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I have owned my own businesses for the last 30 years. I started my working career as a bank officer, and then I went to Department of Defence, where I was a receptionist for an Army general. I then had children and we went into our own businesses. We owned a general store where we worked from 5:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night, 7 days a week. Had a second child in amongst all of that. Then we went around Australia in a caravan for 2 years, for 1 year, sorry, with a 2-year-old. And then we bought a motel, thinking that would be really good with our children being so young, and it was. So we bought them those little plastic shopping trolleys. We used to fill it up with the teas and coffees and the toilet rolls, and that was their job, to go and to empty the trolleys for us. Then we came to Warwick, and we were helping my husband's brother, in his business, which was a supermarket. Then it came to Krista, my daughter's 10th birthday, and I couldn't get all the things I wanted for her birthday here. And I said to my husband, I think I'd like to open a store where you can get all your one-stop party needs in one store. And he told me, being an accountant in the bank, that to go and do a business plan. So did all of that. 3 business plans later, we opened the store, and we did parties, lollies, chocolates, balloons, wholesale catering packages. And then, 2020, I got ovarian cancer, which was really hard. And then I started to get better and my husband got prostate cancer. So we sold
Oh
that
my
business.
goodness.
We sold the business. We had 12 months where we didn't do anything. And then my daughter opened her own real estate office and she said, Mum, can you come and help me? And I said, oh, yeah, sure. I'll, talk to people. I'm easy. And so, I just thought I was coming in as a receptionist and, just to do some paperwork and all those sorts of things. And then she said, Mum, I want you to do your property management course. And being 58 and having, extensive chemo that I had, I find it really hard to retain information and I forget things very easily, which is a common cause of chemotherapy. So I have to write a lot of things down. So I tried the course and I had a bit of a meltdown one day at home and I said to him, no, I've just got to go old school. So I went and got a really big pad, really big book, and I wrote every question that was in the course. And then I researched and I wrote all the answers and then I'd sit there and type my little heart out. And so every unit I sent in except one, I got 100% on every unit and I got 95 on the other one. So I was really pleased at my age and of what I've been through to be able to get through. So it was really exciting when my license came in the mail and I absolutely love it. I love going and visiting people's houses. There's some places I'd like to, oh, can you just go out and I'll stay here for 2 hours and clean your house for you? Other places, I feel like we've got one tenant that I just want to sit there and have a cup of tea with her. She's beautiful. So, I really enjoy it. Really, really like. I'm really pleased that Krista asked me to join her.
That is amazing. Yes, the amazing Krista has been on the podcast before, and I love that there is no, there is no lifespan to working in property management or starting a new career or a new business at any age, really. And I can totally relate to the forgetfulness because I'm obviously going through menopause, so I can totally relate to that frustration of not being able to retain information like you used to and be as sharp as you used to.
Yes.
So I can totally. So tell me, what do you, I guess you sort of just touched on that a little bit then, but what do you like about property management and what is keeping you, you've now been there for 12 months, what is sort of keeping you excited about coming into work every day?
I just love going and visiting the tenants. I love finding people houses to live in and I love doing open homes and like my very first tenants came to an open house and I said to him, I don't think this is the right house for you, but I have this other house that is available in about 4 weeks and I think it would be perfect for you. I can't tell you about it until it's, finished. I can't tell you where it is until it's finished and ready, but and then they're like, oh, okay, no worries. Well, give us a ring. And so they've been in there for, I think, be close to 12 months now. They're be coming up to very close to 12 months. I was actually there yesterday morning visiting, doing an inspection, and it's just like old friends. You're like, oh my gosh, it looks so good how you've decorated it. And I just love everything about my job now.
And did you think when you were, I mean, obviously you left your last business under not the best circumstances, having been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, but did you think when you were sort of, wrapping that up and going through all your treatment that you would have a fresh start at a career, and
No.
especially in property management?
No, definitely not. I thought maybe I might do a checkout, like a couple of days as a checkout chick at Coles or something, or I didn't know. I didn't know what I was going to be able to do. And I only do 3 days with Krista, and the other 2 days I get to, chill out at home and or visit, socialize and stuff. So it's good. I really, really like it.
Fantastic. And so talk me through some of the challenges then when you first, I guess, started in property management, because it's not the easiest job at times.
No.
So what are some of the things that you struggled with over the last 12 months? Sorry, and maybe even share some solutions, so some of those struggles, and if you've got any advice for anyone that's looking at starting out in the industry or anything like that as well.
Our main struggle is we've got a lot of workers have come in from overseas, so they don't have very good English. And we go and our Australian clean is different to their Papua New Guinea clean. Like they don't have the kind of houses there that we have here. So therefore they don't know how to clean. And we go and like, as example, today I went to a place and I said to the guy, I opened the oven and I said to him, like you need to clean this. And he goes, oh, yes, yes. I went, no, no, no. You need to like do a deep clean in this oven. He's like, oh, I'm like, look, there's fat hanging off the racks in the oven. And I'm like, you need to put it in some hot soapy water and take this and got the steel wool and scrub this, like, and he's like, oh, yes, 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 yes. So yeah, our biggest, is the language barrier between like, and there also this morning I had to, show some ladies a picture of, I said to them, I think the only thing that's going to get this off the stove for you is some gumption. So I had to Google a picture of gumption. You need to go in aisle 13 at Woolies and it'll cost you $77 or whatever it was. And they're like, oh, okay, okay. So yeah, I find the language barrier. Some tenants, like we've had some that have been living in cars and then they come and we get them a house, but then they whinge and complain that there's, I need this fixed, I need this done, I need this done. And I'm like, you were living in a car.
Hashtag grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's some of the challenges.
And I guess we obviously got lots of life experience, lots of business experience, because that is a common challenge that we face in property management is meeting the demands of the tenants with the expectations of the owners and kind of bringing them back together in harmony.
Yes.
Have you got any advice on how you handle those situations?
I just try to keep talking communications to both of them and like make sure that they're both aware of where we're up to with different things. And like I have spoken to the owner about this and they have advised this is going to be happening, that it probably isn't going to happen, at this stage, but they will get to that bit later, but they're going to do this bit for you now. And I don't know, just keep the lines of communication open.
Yeah, that's a great tip. I think communication is really important. And I think talking as well, not just emailing. I think, picking up the phone and having that conversation is really important. And is that sort of how you would handle things? I mean, I know I've worked with lots of young property managers over the year, and no disrespect whatsoever, but they are a generation who have grown up with predominantly emails and texting as communication. And I think a lot of the ones that I have personally worked with really do struggle to pick up the phone, especially when it's a conflict situation or there's potential for conflict.
Yeah, I think depending on the age, like the older ones love for you to pick up the phone and talk to them. The younger ones are like, oh, just shoot me a text. So it just depends on the age of the tenant. But yeah, we always would ring the owner.
Absolutely. So what about, the struggle, and I'm sure you're aware of, in the industry at the moment is that there is been a mass exodus of property managers since COVID. It's really hard to find people that who come into the industry, who want to stay in the industry. You're getting people who come 1 or 2 years and then they go, no, this is not for me. I do not have the backbone for this. It's too hard. I'll go and get paid probably more money doing something less stressful. So what's your advice to anyone anyone that wants to get started in the industry?
Think about what you would like to do. And if you like going into other people's houses, if you're comfortable to do that, then I think yes, it is a job you could do. If you're not comfortable either A, talking to other people you don't know, or B, going into their houses, like I don't think then it is the job that you should be doing. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, no, that's fine. It is a hard question because, obviously your daughter is working in the industry, and it's, I guess for you as well, coming into work, you get to hang out with family and you get to talk to people and I guess is part of it for you as well, why maybe, and I'm just guessing here, part of the attraction for you as well is that, it's a bit of a distraction from thinking about, what's happening with your cancer journey, and you've got a purpose every day to get up to.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, no, definitely. And yeah, I get to see some of my old customers from when we had the business. So yeah, so I get to see some of them still because some of them are Krista's tenants, and yeah, so I kind of leave them for the last inspection of the day because I know I'm going to stay and talk. So yeah, so that's really, I like that side of it, and yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, that's good. So you would definitely recommend it for anyone of any age, especially sort of our ages. I guess, retirement, I don't know for you, but retirement's probably not going to be an option for me. I don't see myself retiring ever. I just enjoy working too much, and, that's what I get
I
out
think
of bed for. If you are anything like me, you think you know your rent roll numbers. Well, I thought I did until I had a rent roll health check, and I was quite literally shocked. The money I was leaving on the table was astounding, and this is not something that I'm proud to admit. There were missed management fees, let fees, advertising, and lease renewal fees not being charged, and properties even without bonds. And all of this was happening despite monthly audits being conducted in my business. So how did I uncover all these gaps in my valuable income? Well, I had a rent roll due diligence from my good friend Tazi, aka the Rent Roll Queen and founder of the Tazi Way, a specialist in rent roll due diligence, business valuation, and management rights. The Tazi Way is the innovative force driving the real estate industry. With 25 years of business and real estate acumen, they find gaps and risks in your agency to find undiscovered value. If you'd like to book your business in for a rent roll due diligence, head to the link in the show notes and mention That Property Mum for a 10% discount. If you're ready to be a super organised, focused and productive property manager, buckle up, because Colmio is about to revolutionise the way that you work. Colmio is the driving force behind property management excellence in residential real estate. Now picture this, a comprehensive end-to-end system designed to be the beating heart of your property management tasks, manage your properties, owners and tenants, and handle payments, inspections, and even marketing listings without leaving the platform. Colmio is designed to be an all-in-one solution to all your property management needs. And here's the game changer. Colmio isn't just software. It's been awarded the most innovative prop tech scale up in 2023. Yes, you heard it right. Colmio has been recognised for their groundbreaking approach to property management software. How good is that? So property managers, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, dive into the future of property management with Colmio. You can book in a demo with the team today and go in their weekly draw for a Prezi gift card worth $100. All you need to do is to head to the link colmio.com/thatpropertymum, and Colmio is Kolmeo.
I think I've got like the best job ever because I only work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. So I have Mondays and Fridays off. So I have 4-day weekend every weekend. So we just hook the caravan on and just go on a little short journey. Like we'll just pick a town that, 2 hours, 3 hours away and go, oh, well, let's go and explore that for a couple of days and then come home again. So
have you been to Barney Creek?
No.
I went there on the weekend. It is a great little spot to go and take a caravan. Barney Creek. Yeah.
Oh, where's it?
Yeah, it's just back of Bow Desert in Queensland.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Anyway, yeah, it's a good spot to go. Anyone listening? But yeah, it is a great spot to go. Kerol, now you've been through quite the journey with your cancer. Talk to me, and this might be some personal stuff that has helped you get through it, but I usually ask guests to share a personal development tool or a resource, a podcast. But I'd love to hear sort of how you dealt with the mindset, and even if you want to share a little bit about your cancer journey and the ups and downs of how that has affected you, and how you seem so positive and sprightly, and you seem like you've got a great mindset despite in spite of what you've been through. So yeah, if you could just share with us a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah. I was a mum, a wife, a grandmother. I was working up to 60 hours a week in my own business. Had a pain one day that I just thought, oh, that's bit weird. So I went to the doctor and she told me I had ulcers. And I said, I don't have ulcers. There's no way. I work in a lolly shop. How can I have ulcers? Anyway, she said, no, you have. You've got to take these tablets for 2 weeks and come back. I said, no. And she said, I'm a doctor, Kerol. I've done my doctor's degree. And I said, yeah, but I live in this body. I can tell you I don't have ulcers. Anyway, in the end, I took the tablets for 2 weeks, went back, said to her, your tablets have done nothing. She said, you haven't given them long enough. I said, you're not listening to me. So I went to a different doctor. And the other doctor said, because it's Saturday, I can't really do anything for you. Come back on Monday. Saturday afternoon and Sunday, I was in extreme pain that I could not even put my fingers together to touch the skin together. Monday morning, I waited till my husband went to open the shop, text both my daughters and said, don't tell your father, but I've just called an ambulance. They gave me 2 shots of morphine to get me out of the house and into the ambulance. Got up to the hospital and I had this most beautiful doctor. She said, tell me your story. What's happening? And I told her and she said, I agree with you. She said, you don't have ulcers. She said, let's do a full CT from your knees to your neck. She came back in with one of the nurses that, because we live in a small town, we pretty much know lots of people. Her and the nurse have both got tears in their eyes. And I said, look, just give it to me. And they said, Kerol, you have got a baseball tumour in your right ovary. And I'm like, okay. We were told we'd never have children. We ended up with 2 girls. I've watched them grow up. I've watched them get married. I've watched them have children. I don't need anything that is in this area anymore. I said, so we need to work on getting all that taken out. I don't need it anymore. One of the doctors in here went to uni with a really nice gynecological surgeon in Brisbane. He rang her and she said, yep, send her down to me. So I was shipped off to Brisbane. They did a radical hysterectomy, it's called, and she took everything that I don't need. So I tell my grandkids all the time, I'm like Taylor Swift, I've got a blank space. But yeah, so it was a very long recovery and very hard recovery to get through, but I was surrounded by beautiful people, beautiful family, and the chemo was really bad. I'd spend a week every 3 weeks. I'd have one whole week in bed and I would commando crawl to the bathroom just to go to the toilet. I'd commando crawl into the shower and just sit on the bottom of the shower. But, the things that make you get through it. When I lost my hair, I went to Officeworks and had a big pack of permanent textures in different colours, or the rainbow of colours, and invited all the family over for afternoon tea on the Sunday, and all the kids drew pictures on my head. So I went to chemo on the Monday and I'm like, took my hat off and I'm like, look at my head today. And they went, oh my God, we love it. And so I had my grandkids' decorations on my head for over a week. I had, I was supported 100% by so many people. We had lots of food delivered to us. Krista came and made us dinner, a few times. People would just randomly send me a text message and say, do you have any cravings for anything? And I'm like, I actually feel like Frosty Fruits. I haven't eaten them since I was about 10. And bang, half an hour, there was a packet of Frosty Fruits on our front door. And it was just beautiful, just beautiful. But I'm now 4 years post-surgery and I can't say I'm over it until October next year. There's a 52% chance it can come back. But I feel really good at the moment. I do have a lot of problems from the chemotherapy. Like I have neuropathy in one of my feet, and my feet, if I do a lot of walking, it swells. On the days I know if I'm at work and I am going to do a lot of walking, I wear closed-in shoes so that my feet are supported, and I pretty much come back to the office and stick my feet in the air. Or I go home early and put my feet up in the air. But yeah, no.
And so talk me through some of the mindset stuff that happens. I can only imagine when, you were sitting in the hospital and you got that diagnosis that you've got cancer. So talk me through what that mindset must have been for you when you've got that sitting in that hospital room and that initial diagnosis comes through that you've got cancer, and then to be able to, have that willpower, that determination to get through it all. What were you telling yourself? It just intrigues me of, what resilience we draw on I can't imagine it because I've not been in your situation, but yeah.
I don't think I was ready to say this is the end. And like, I know, like I've seen all the girls grow up and everything else, but I just want a little bit more time. That's why I said we need to get rid of this. Then when I was in Brisbane, they gave me the number for Ovarian Cancer Australia. And I rang them and they gave me a ovarian cancer nurse. And her name was Di. She is the most beautifulest person I've ever met in my life. And her and I would have and all this happened to me during COVID. So none of my family was allowed to come to the hospital. My husband was allowed in only the rules changed exactly 6 hours before I went into surgery. So when I came out of surgery, he was allowed to come be in the hospital. And yeah, once I had the ovarian cancer nurse, I think there's a lot of things you don't tell your family, your partner. You don't want to tell them how shitty you feel. You don't want to tell them, that, it hurts, or, because you can see the look in their face that, like they're trying to be strong for you. So you don't tell them exactly how bad it all is. I mean, like my poor husband, he had days where I rang him one day and I said to him, and that's all he got out of the conversation. He came home and I had actually fainted off the toilet, and I was stuck between the toilet and the wall. And he said to me, I don't know how to get you out of here. And I'm like, just pull my legs, it'll be fine.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I mean, I think if you have those positive people around you and you've got everybody showing you how much love they have for you, why would you want to leave?
Yeah, absolutely. So you made that conscious decision that your time wasn't up yet. It was time.
No,
Yep.
yeah,
Carol's sticking around.
no, I'm just like, no, I don't think I'm done just yet. In one night in hospital there, I was in extreme pain, and I'd only ever been to hospital, had the children. And I was in extreme pain, and my grandmother passed away years ago, and I was very, very close to her. And I said, Nan, if I'm supposed to die, can you please take me tonight? And then I woke up the next morning, had no pain.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, obviously it's not my turn. It's not my turn to go. So, and I'm like, no, I still have things I need to do. So
Like
yeah,
work in property management.
that's it. We sold our big family home and we bought just a little duplex so we can just lock it up and hook that caravan on and go away whenever we want to.
So it sounds like you're making the most of life now. Not that you've got a second chance, but it kind of is a second chance. I imagine someone with the cancer that you had, it could be a lot worse.
Oh, look,
And
there's ladies that are, yeah. I was diagnosed as stage 2, like towards 3. But yeah, there's ladies that they stage 4 and it's terrible. The other thing I did do, which I thought was a really good thing, is with the Ovarian Cancer Australia, if you're a female, you can get as much information as you want. If you're in a same-sex relationship, your partner can get as much information as they want. And I said to my ovarian cancer nurse, I said, there's nothing for the husbands. I said, they're going through this just as much as we are. And I said, probably more because they've got the weight of looking after us and keeping everything running, where we kind of don't even think about, I couldn't even tell you if the electricity bill came in during that 12 months. Was not even on my radar to think about. And I said to her, why is there not something for the husbands, the partners? And so they actually started a male support group. So all the husbands and partners and boyfriends and everything all get on once a month, and they all get on there. They tell each other different tips about what works for their wife and their partner or girlfriend. And yeah, there's been a couple that the wives have passed away, which, the guys have all had tears in their eyes when they've got off and stuff, but they all love it. They reckon it's the best thing that's ever happened. So that was a really good thing that we got started.
Good on you. That's amazing. That's really beautiful. And I think that's the mindset, isn't it? Finding those positives in those really terrible times and
Yeah,
leaving you're obviously leaving a great legacy there for other women who come after you, who go on this journey, and their partners,
yeah,
that, there is support. And yeah, I think, we forget about men aren't that good at talking about their feelings and sharing their feelings, but knowing that there's other people and, how to support somebody going through what you've been through or somebody else is going to go through.
yeah.
I think that's amazing. So good on you. And so inspiring. I absolutely think that, your journey is so inspirational. And I can only imagine the positivity and the kindness and the generosity that you share with, the tenants and the property owners that you work with, which is something that the industry really does lack, when a lot of the time it's just that transactional relationship with people. But I feel like there's more people like you needed in the industry that bring in that real personal
I
element.
just I just wish I could find a home for everybody that walks through the door and says, "Oh, but I've got to be out in like 2 months' time. I just want to find everybody a house." My husband always says to me, "You can't bring anyone home."
Oh, I know, I know. It is hard. That's the heartbreaking part of this job, I think, as well. And I think it's going to get harder before it gets better, with the current rental market at the moment. So yeah, watch
Right.
this space. Kerol, how can someone, if they wanted to chat to you about getting into the industry, about about cancer journeys, what's the best place for somebody to get in touch with you?
Probably at work through Star Realty Queensland. Yeah, they can call me or email me here. My email address is hello, as in, hi, hello at starrealtyqueensland.com.
Amazing. Kerol, thank you so much for your sharing your amazing story, and you're such an inspiration, and I look forward to meeting you in person soon.
Thank you very much. And I do absolutely love my job. I'm really pleased my daughter asked me to come in with her.
Thanks, Kerol.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask you a quick favor before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate, and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow, or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.